All right, so it's like day 16, 17, whatever, 18 maybe. I don't know. On the side of the road again, in a not too great spot, but it's going to have to do. Tomorrow it's going to rain all day, and it's going to rain like 1 to 2 inches. So I'm not walking in that. The good thing is it's going to cool off. Then today it's getting up to 88. Yesterday it was 82, and I realized early on that I was going to have to start walking earlier in the day. So before 12 o'clock, I needed to walk most of my miles. And I tried that yesterday. And the problem is it's hot. And I'm also, there's a lot more hills over here on this highway. So um, it's a little hard. And I'm pushing through it. I know I've been a 30-year smoker, so that's contributing to everything. And I realize that I am going to have to quit smoking soon. Probably sooner than I expected. I was going to wait till I ran out of my tobacco, but I think it's affecting my health in 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 other ways. And so the sooner I can stop smoking, the sooner. And I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna have to go to the store. The problem is I just there was a store about 2 miles back that I hit yesterday on my way here, and that was fine. Um, and the next one's not for 15 miles, which is in a little bit of a smaller, or I guess a medium-sized city or whatever. And so I'm gonna have to hit that. But the problem is, it's gonna rain all day tomorrow, and then Saturday it's gonna rain a little bit. Um, I'm not sure if I have enough water and enough food. Is the problem? I've got about a gallon and a half of water. Um, and normally, like yesterday, I consumed an entire gallon. Normally I'm about two and a half liters maybe per day on a normal weather day, but yesterday it just wore me out, weather, heat wise. And so, and the other problem is there's not really any shoulder on either side of the highway. It's like a foot and a half or 2 feet, maybe. Sometimes there's no shoulder, and I'm having to roll my cart uh, on grass and tundra and whatever. So that's hard. Um, Maybe not tundra, which tundra is ice, right? I don't know. It's somebody, it's like hilly and crap, and so it's harder to push it and pull it, and then going up hills and downhill. Downhills is fun. Up hills, I'll like get to the top of a hill and I'll be like, all right, and I'll look down and I'll see hills in the distance, and I'm like, oh no. Um, and it's just part of the day. But when it's hot like it is, I get overheated real quick, and makes it unbearable. I have to stop like every 50 feet. It's very uncomfortable for me, and this overheat is not just the sweating. I mean, the sweating is part of it, but I just I got to stop and sit down and rest and get cooled off. But I'm not getting cooled off because it's 80 something degrees outside, which is going to create a problem down the road. But hopefully, I will quit smoking by then. My goal is to quit smoking in the next month. Um, I really want to. I mean, I've been a smoker for a long time. Smoke, you know, but I've kind of relied on that for my peace of mind, and you know, but I think what I need to do is just really, it's getting to a point where it's affecting my health. When I walked 8 years ago, I was a smoker, and I walked across the country, and that wasn't a bad thing. It didn't affect me really at all. Um, but now it's affecting me. It's making me short of breath very quickly. And anyway, and I think it's responsible for, my hyperthermia and my anemia. I think it's all woven up into these little wonderful sticks. But what I'll do is I'll get like a bag of like wintergreen mints or something, and when I've tried to quit smoking before, they do help, you know. Um, and since I'm walking, I won't be gaining weight from them because I'll be walking. I thought I had lost more weight than I have. I mean, I haven't weighed myself, but like you're walking along and you got sunburned, and you're feeling better, and you're feeling your stomach, and you're like, wow, this is a lot less. And I'm going further on my belt, as far as pulling it tighter. But then you look in a mirror, not a mirror, but like a reflection of a storefront or something as you're walking past. You're like, I'm still a big guy. That sucks. I thought I had, I'm probably 20, 25 pounds down, but when you start off as, 100 pounds overweight, 25 pounds is, nothing. So anyway, let's see. Uh, the roads are not bad here. I've been finding lots of places to camp. There are some places, which have like a lot of, you know, posted no trespassing or private property, and then you have stuff that's gated. And sometimes like the gates are like 50 years old, and you're like, can I, if there's a tree down, like the other night I was close to town, and like I didn't have anywhere else to go, and I was done for the day. I just, the heat and everything, I was done, and I was like, I'm gonna like, I'm just gonna go in here. And there's a tree that was over one of these fences, and it was like public land or whatever, and so I just went over it and stealth camped. I waited till it turned, nighttime, and then waited till the next morning and got out of there. Um, I don't really. This spot is okay. It's like the road is over there. There's a hill, and like the only way that somebody would see me is if they stopped right there and looked for me. But otherwise, that's you're kind of like, there's also a little bridge right there, right? So most people when they're driving and they see a bridge that doesn't have as much of a shoulder or no shoulder, they're like, okay, I've got to focus my line of sight ahead. So it's about figuring out where that line of sight is, and staying outside of that. Um, but like I got my tarp up to ward off the sun because it's so hot. And But I'm gonna reset the tarp tonight because it's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow, like 2 to 3 inches or something, and that's a lot, and it's all day. I won't be able to charge my solar panels. I'm running low on solar panel energy right now. I have 4 battery backups. Um, my one crappy solar panel, which is this, uh, I'm not a fan of it. It does very little. I mean, it does charge. Um, if it's in bright sunlight, then it charges pretty well, like all day. But if it's like a little bit cloudy, or it's not facing the sun in just the right way, it charges crappy. My Neck Tech one, though, I've had that for a while, and that charges pretty well. Pretty happy with that. Um, and I get like today, it was a little bit sunny and we get some clouds, so I'll probably get 25% or maybe 30% out of it, which is about one full charge for my phone. But I have backups. Uh, but I've been having some crappy days, man. I've been having some crappy days. Um, you know, I had to go through town yesterday, and I went through town thinking it was going to be, you know, um, okay. But then I got into town. To get into town, you had to go down this big hill, and I was like, this isn't good. Because when you have to go down a really steep hill, you're like, okay, I'm gonna have to go up a really steep hill, and that's not fun. Usually the state roads are good, but if you're cutting through town, it's like, because I stopped at the library, but then the library Wi-Fi was like, you know, I was uploading a video, and it was like 1% after 5 minutes, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna wait for this. Um, but yeah, it was whatever. So I just left there and went to the dollar store, got a few items, and got water and bread and Geedunk and whatever. Geedunk, by the way, is military term for junk food, which I don't know why that sticks in my head, and some other things just fly out. But you know, um, but oh, and I saw a snake the other day, day before yesterday. I was getting out of the campsite I was in, about 10, 12 miles down that way, and it was like I was walking in the, I was pushing my cart out of the campsite or whatever, uh, towards the road, and I saw this like black stick, like a big long black stick, and I was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, a snake." And it was, I guess it was it's about 4 feet long, and it was just sitting on the branch, and it was uh, a black snake, I guess, or maybe a water moccasin, or I don't think it was poisonous, but the thing is I know there are people. I know people out there that are like, oh, that's definitely this, and this. I'm not that kind of guy. Um, I try to uh, stay away from all snakes, all spiders, all. I mean, I don't know. And I was walking in front of this house the other day, and there was two dogs, and I was like, oh crap! And they're running loose. They were like labs. They're big fat labs, right? Fat. Um, Not the PHAT, but just they're fat dogs. And as I was walking past, I was like, okay, am I gonna have to get my little trowel thing out just in case? But I was looking at them, and I'm like, no. And they didn't move the entire time. They just stood up you know, they just stood up like penguins and barking. Not penguins barking, but they were just like these little fat dogs. They're barking. Hey, there's somebody over there. But we're not going to move because that's a little bit too much exercise. I'm rethinking the future um, for myself. I'm having some issues with, I just the thing is um, I'm homeless, right? And the thing is I can get unhomeless, right? It takes a little bit of work. It takes a little bit of extra effort. Find maybe a small city or the outskirts of a larger city, and find a place to camp, and then check out the resources there, and check out the shelters. And the shelters are terrible, by the way. If, you know, Shelters for homeless, unless you got a family or something, they're terrible, um, because they got bed bugs, which I did not include in my bestiary before, but bed bugs are a thing. And like a lot of times you're sleeping in a big open room with other people, and I just rather sleep, do the hobo bath. I mean, yeah, having a shower is actually a good thing, but I can. What I'm saying is, I can get back on my feet. It takes a little bit of extra effort because when you're trying to get back on your feet, you have to, like, being out here, like, I'm kind of nose blind to how my gear smells and stuff like that. But um, when you're around people, you kind of have to appear or camouflage yourself as civilized, right? Um, but like you can get clothes at like food banks and stuff like that. Sometimes they'll give you a voucher for Salvation Army, or sometimes they'll just have their own little thing where you can. So I can get clothes for a job. I don't know what kind of job I can get. I'm trying to think. I've been so down and thinking like I can't really work. I can work. It's just like I would need a job where I sat down, right? And something that was not a call center. I don't know what that would be. Maybe I could get like a convenience store job where I'm sitting down. Most of those jobs, they require that you stand up though, all day, right? But if I could find one where I could sit down on a stool or something, I could do that. Um, but there are things I can do, right? I can, uh, I'll just have to figure it out, and work my way up. But the thing is I don't want to do that on the East Coast, or in the Midwest. Uh, I want to, like, the weather and the inclination of the mindset. Yeah, there's a lot of hippies out there out west. I would agree to that. I would say, and there's all kinds of people everywhere. But like in the Northwest is that's my favorite temperature zone, um, and maybe not Portland like I have in the past. Maybe Washington State. I don't know. I mean, still feeling it out, and I've got a long way to go. And you know, one of my main reasons for doing this journey like this is to get in shape. To lose this weight, because I can't seem to do a diet when I'm in Like I can't seem to do a diet like normal people, just and like eat better and lose weight. Like I can maintain, like I can like start eating okay, but like having to when you're talking about 100 pounds, that's a lot of that's a lot of to lose 1 pound is a lot, you know. And so anyway, I know I had a caffeine pill today because I was like, okay, man, time's going real slow. All right, well, let's do a video. And so now I'm super talkative and whatever. But it's not like I can talk to anybody else. I'll talk to you guys. And I probably won't be able to upload this for like another couple of weeks. I'm about 60 miles from Danville. I'm gonna try. I've been making really terrible time. That's another thing. You know, I can only do as much as I can do. And if I'm getting to the point where I can't breathe when I'm walking, um, you know, yeah, I could try to push through that. What I've been trying to do, but it doesn't work. I mean, I'm out of shape. I'm getting in better shape. I feel physically better than I did, say, 2 weeks ago, but that's not saying much, right? I really, really need to lose some more weight, eat better than I have been because I've been eating like, I've got the tuna and stuff, and the tuna is good because it's protein, right? Um, I bought a loaf of bread the other day, just because, and then like my staple is this uh, Campbell's, whatever, just without even heating it up, just spoon it. It's not great, I gotta tell you. Um, I got a can of corn in there. That's okay. Um, but I've got to get the vitamins and things. Um, anyway, but yeah, things hopefully are going to get better. I'm feeling. I think I had a turnabout faith, or just you know, recently I've just been really thinking about changing my overall, you know, for a lot of the last couple of months, and even this trek, I've been like in a hopeless kind of way, like, I can't do this, I can't do this, and I've been focusing on the things that I can't do, and I mean, it might take a year to walk across the country. I don't know. That wouldn't be great, but at the same time, it wouldn't be terrible. I could figure it out. Um, as long as I'm marching towards a future that I desire, right? One of good friends, companions, um, a hopeful place, uh, just a good future, and I think that's possible. Uh, the problem is I'm having a lot of bad days because I'm walking, 7 to 13 miles a day, and in the heat that sucks. Even when it's not hot, it sucks. I mean, maybe a month from now when I'm more used to it, it'll be better. But right now it sucks and it hurts and I feel like crap. So I'm not super hopeful. I start off the day pretty hopeful, but then it goes down and I, start getting those the depression triggers and stuff like that. And that's not, and then, I was like, okay, well, maybe I can't do this. But the thing is I've kind of painted myself into a corner with this, and I've done it on purpose. Of all the roads I could have gone, I've basically painted myself into this corner, and yes, I can at any time I can just choose somewhere to go and walk back out over the wet paint if I need to. I mean, I've had to do that in my life before, uh, you know. But I'm gonna give this a shot. I mean, I really want this walk across America thing to really be uh, be something meaningful for me, and to walk into like a new life, right? Like, um, they say that the grass is always greener. Actually, that's what I say. The grass is always greener. It's not always greener, but most times it is. If you make the right choice, if you're living in a in a place where the energy's just wrong, or you feel, um, I don't know, constricted, confined, then go somewhere else and start over. And just the act of starting over, a lot of times will, open you up to, well, I haven't been to that place. I haven't been down this road, stuff like that. And sometimes the grass is greener. I've traveled a lot in my life, and I can tell you that um, in many, many cases, I would say 65% of the time, the grass is definitely greener. Um, so, you know, um, I'm going to go with that in mind and keep walking, because even though it's getting hotter, and that's going to create a conflict with me, uh, you know, I'm just going to keep going, because what other choice do I have? I mean, my only other choice is to quit, and I'm not going to say I'm not a quitter. Um, that's always been my excuse with um, smoking. You know, I'm not a quitter. I'm not going to quit. You know, I'm a winner. I'm not a quitter. But anyway, so we'll see how things go. I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this journey is going to bring me into a state of mind, a state of spirit, um, of being on the path of who I want to be and where I want to be. Hobo Yeti signing off.